Welcome back to widescreen. So glad. 1 week, 22th to 28th. Or 28th, 23rd to 29th. Alright, so there are going to be spoilers, so my eyes have been closed. I'm actually illiterate. And I have long-term, short-term memory loss. So you guys need to tell me to open my eyes. You gotta tell me mentally. Because I've closed my eyes, I can't read the chat. Can I look now? This music is really nice. There's probably a lot of memorable moments in the story. But I can't open my eyes. Alright, I can open my eyes!
Create a world we can all enjoy together.
I gotta admit, he looks pretty badass. Light Katana, connecting call 2. Oh, so he's gonna spam crits. Wait, is he gonna be like light version of Makoto? I don't know, I haven't read anything, so I can't tell. Adds 80% to the modifier applied to user's critical damage for 10 seconds. He's gonna be spamming crits. Strength plus 10%. Boost from 4 to 6%. But this is mad bait. This is bait. Monster Hunter's right upon us, and then they give us a Gala. Come on. How can you honestly take this? It's 15 seconds. I don't know. Okay. We can watch from 42 seconds in. I'm not far enough in the story yet. I have a lot of catching up to do. Alright, Light Katana. This adventurer's critical rate increases based on the number of different buff types affecting them. Okay, so the more buffs he has, the higher the crit rate he has. Nice. Interesting ability. So he's going to be spamming crits. Like a dagger? Wait, is he just going to be like a katana that's basically a dagger? I don't know. Connecting call 2 increases Luca's critical rate by 4% for every buff with a different icon applied to him. So up to 28%, so 7 buffs. In addition, applies one of the following buffs to Luca every time one of his attacks is a critical hit. What? So it's an exponential gain on crits and critical rate. Because the higher your critical rate, the more likely you are to crit. And the more likely you are to crit, the more likely you are to buff yourself. And the buffs are Sylvan's Secret Arts, Human Wisdom, and Rokin Expertise. Each one of these buffs increase Luca's critical rate by 3% for 20 seconds. Only one instance of each buff can be active at the same time. After activating, this ability will not activate again for 3 seconds. After activating, this ability will not activate again for 3 seconds. Only one instance of each buff can be active at the same time. So, after activating, this ability will not activate again for 3 seconds. But if you're just always attacking, you're always critting, don't you just constantly refresh the buff? Because this is after activating, this ability will not activate again for 3 seconds. But that's just a 3-second gap. Or is it after it's activated, after 20 seconds, there's a 3-second gap? That would be more fair, but it's not a lot of time anyways, so. It looks like he's just going to be spamming out buffs and just specials. 20 seconds is a really long time as well, yeah. Okay, he also has Unforgettable Promise 2, which is probably a story reference that I don't know about. Reduces susceptibility to curses by 100%. When the user is hit by an attack that would have cursed them, their critical rate is increased by 15% for 10 seconds. After activating, this buff will not activate again for 15 seconds. Whoa, okay. So, two abilities. 100% curse resistance. When the user is hit by an attack that would have cursed them, a crit rate of increase by 15% for 10 seconds. And of course, if you have your crit rate increased, it goes back to this first ability, in that if you crit more often, it will give you more buffs and will stack up the crit. The buff will stack up your crit, and the buffs themselves will have the buffs abilities as well. That's actually really good. Yeah, I'll check the rest of it after this. Huh. Flurry Devastation increases critical rate by 30% when the combo count is 15 or higher. Should be easy for him to do. Shiny Slash deals light damage to enemies in a line. Skill's critical rate is increased by 10% for each buff of a different icon applied to the user. So even his skills should be like spamming out. Even his skills should be spamming out crits. Adds 8% to the modifier applied to the user's critical damage for 10 seconds. And then strength plus 10%. Yeah, that's normal. Okay, so from what I understand, he's just gonna spam buffs. He's gonna get a shit ton of buffs. And then he's gonna spam out a shit ton of crit damage. Now, there's a bit of RNG involved with all that. But as long as you just continually attack and don't get hit, you'll eventually get up to 7 buffs. If you have a team that buffs, you'll eventually get up to 7 buffs. So on top of that 28%, you can have all these extra percentages of chances of critting. So realistically, if he's fully buffed up, virtually every hit will be a crit. And Brilliant Booster will increase your critical damage. So it just looks to me that he's gonna do a shit ton of damage. Am I missing anything? It seems really simple to understand. And the scariest thing is, it's not just the critical damage he's gaining at the end of the... All the buffs still have buff abilities and will still buff him up. So it's not just the crit and the damage, it's the buffs and how the buffs will affect him as well. And when you put that all together, he's a monstrous package. Oh god, am I gonna reconsider on pulling here? I think he's really good. But Gala characters will be back in the future. And personally not a fan of Luca. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna do some reading about him in a moment, but I'm gonna double check my light team real quick. My light team is also not one of my better teams. But it's not horrendous. It's just lackluster. I guess I'll decide, but I think he's excellent, and I think if you guys are missing a Light Katana, I think he's definitely your pick. Actually, there weren't that many good Light Katanas. I think there was the 4-star one. What's her name again? Yachio? I think Yachio is pretty decent. And I think Hanabusa was pretty good too. But like they're not gonna match up to him. I think Luca should just be far, far better. Okay. Yeah, there's not much competition. I think he's fine. Gala Dragalia is now live. Let us see what it is. Increase to 6%. That's big. If you guys don't know, you go from 4 to 6%, which is essentially a 50% increase in your chances of getting something significant. All right. Wielding his friend's blade as a symbol of their promise and clad in gear forged from the hands of many races, Luca endeavors to create a world where no one has to fight. I'm not far enough in the story to understand. And also, don't spoil me. I will eventually get there. Probably. Okay, 745 HP, 517 strength for 2,502 might. And Shining Slash deals light damage to enemies and allies. Skill's critical rate is increased by 10% for each buff of a different icon applied to the user. And since he can stack 7 buffs, it could get up to 70%. Unless I'm wrong here, but that's what it's looking like to me. We already read all of these earlier, so that's fine. No, that's everything. I'm not missing anything. Flurry of Devastation, Unforgettable Promise, Connecting Coil, Strength plus 10%, Brilliant Booster, and Shining Slash. Yeah, we already read all of that. So for 1 week from 23rd to 29th. Seems pretty damn good. And he doesn't have competition either, so nobody really should have a good Light Katana. Anyways, otherwise, the Lunar New Year bonus is live. So we have 5-star wand print, Blossoms of the New Year's Sky, Fully Unbound, X1. We already got that. And then additionally, every single day for the next 6 days, it's 200 Y might per day. Nice. From the 23rd to February 3rd, which is how many days? 11 days? I'm not gonna count. 12 days, something like that. You will definitely do it. So thank you so much, Dragalia Lost. That is 1,200 Warmite. Isn't that just a temple? That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. I'll take it. So yeah, Lunar New Year bonus as well. Anyways, adding the Mana Spiral to more adventures. A 6-mana circle of the Mana Spiral will be added to certain adventures starting on 1 a.m. January 23rd to January 29th? Added 1 a.m. January 23rd. Kurin, Heinwald, Lafna, Patia. So all shadows. And then Delphi on 29th. Oh no, Delphi is... That is weird. It's not 2, it's and. But then... Why not just release them all at the same time? Okay. There's probably a reason for that, but it's a weird reason. I can't imagine... Whatever. Anyways, the point is the 6th circle has come out for a bunch of Shadow heroes. So Kurin... Oh, it doesn't... Does it tell you what it does extra? I gotta pick out somebody that I have. I have a Heimwald. Sure how I'm supposed to see what they changed. Stats here represent adventure at level 100 with 70 mana nodes unbound. The stats shown here do not include increases or decreases to abilities, and the stats for the adventure include the notifications shown in any prior notifications or previews were the stats at level 80 with 50 mana nodes unbound. Okay, so the level increase generally about 500 might extra on a lot of these characters, I would say. So, okay, what you guys are telling me is a lot of these are now poison. Hold on. That's the theme, isn't it? Who was it again? The Shadow spellcaster that got Cassandra? All the way back when they were announcing the 1 year stuff, Cassandra got her 6th mana circle and she got poison. So I thought it was just going to be her. But apparently, virtually everybody gets poison. So Shadow's related to poison. Alright, figures. Alright, which is really nice. Because there are tons... Well, there's not a ton. Aren't there characters who take advantage of the poison? Like Lafna? Deals shadow damage to enemies directly ahead. Poison take extra damage. Yeah. Poison foes take extra damage. This is really good for me because I run Lafna in my Shadow team. And now she's going to have more companions, potentially. So I have a Heimwald. And let's see if Heimwald now does Shadow. Does poison. Heimwald does not do poison. Shit. Okay, let's see. Is there anyone else? No. Poison, extra damage. Poison, extra damage. So in terms of people who inflict poison. Poison, extra damage. Poison, extra damage. So either get Delphi or use Cassandra. Okay. Okay, that's actually really interesting. That means the core of any team now is between Shadow team, if you're really serious about it, is between Delphi and Cassandra, because both of them inflict poison. And you need a poison inflicted to do all the extra damage. But yeah, it's between Delphi and Cassandra then. The user strength is lowered by 55% during quests using Ruination Cage grants the user the poisonous cage effect. When this strike is activated, the user's next 4th strike will inflict poison. This effect cannot stack and will be consumed on use. Alright. That's really good. That's a huge bump in damage. If your entire team now does extra damage if your opponent is poisoned, that is a pretty big game changer. Because everyone just does extra damage then. Poison damage is 300% on Delphi. Alright, fair enough. Anyways, that is pretty big. That's a pretty big change as well.